Have you ever noticed that when the space you live in is chaotic, your mind also seems heavier, agitated, and confused? Every item left in disorder, every neglected corner, is not just an exterior detail, it is a mirror that reflects your inner state and contributes to feeding it. On this path, you will learn to transform your environment and, with it, your vital energy, freeing yourself from the burden of chaos and rediscovering that lightness which gives clarity and serenity to everyday life. It is a journey that starts from the rooms of your home and reaches the heart of your mind. Often, we do not realize how much what surrounds us shapes our moods. A messy room or a desk full of papers and objects generates an invisible tension that is reflected in anxiety and agitation. The Buddhist tradition reminds us that mind and environment are like mirrors. If confusion reigns inside, outside we see chaos. If everything around us is chaotic, inside we feel lost. But the way is not to begin cleaning compulsively. The first step is to look carefully, to observe every detail without judgment. Merely recognizing disorder is already a practice of awareness. Then breathe. Take a deep breath and let the air carry away the tension. Exhale, imagining that you are drawing out not only the inner disorder, but also out through your breath. In this simple act is born the space that separates you from thoughts and anxiety. With practice, you will notice that external order becomes spontaneously the reflection of inner calm. It is not a task to be executed, but a process to be cultivated step by step. Every small conscious gesture brings clarity and relief. When we learn to observe what surrounds us with new eyes, we realize how even a small, tidy corner is capable of bringing balance to the mind. In Buddhism, the formula is essential: order without, peace within. There is no need to upheave the whole house. It is enough to start with a desk, a bedside table, or even just a bed made with care. Inhale deeply. Feel the air filling your lungs, and exhale, letting go of tension and haste. Then choose a small space to act upon. It is not important how large it is. What matters is performing a conscious gesture, one step at a time. As you observe the area you have chosen, notice colors, shapes, objects accumulated without judgment. Breathe and let calm enter with the inhalation. Let go of frustration and impatience with the exhalation. Then remove what is not needed and tidy with care, as if every movement were a breath that frees the mind. You will notice that as you tidy, your breath becomes slower, your thoughts less confused, and tension begins to dissolve. A few minutes are enough to feel a cumulative effect. Presence is strengthened, anxiety decreases, and the mind lightens. Tidying, then, becomes more than a domestic chore. It is meditation in motion. Every object returned to its place, every surface freed, is an act of inner clarity. It does not matter how much space you tidy, but the quality of your attention. It is presence in every gesture that transforms a simple action into medicine for the mind. Often we keep objects, habits, and thoughts that are no longer useful, but that continue to occupy space and weigh on the heart. Buddhist practice invites us to let go, because in simplification, the vital energy is freed. It is not merely about disposing of material superfluities, it is also a way to lighten the mind from regrets, expectations, or useless worries. Every weight you abandon is like removing a boulder from your shoulders. You breathe better, you feel lighter, and life appears clearer. Let's try right now. Choose an object near you that you no longer use. Look at it carefully. Notice its shape, its color, its material, without judging. Inhale deeply, imagining recharging the body with new energy. Exhale and release that object, as if freeing it without resentment. Observe the space that opens around and inside you, as if breath were flowing more smoothly. This small gesture has a huge power. It trains you to distinguish the essential from the superfluous. Each time you practice, the mind becomes clearer, attention sharper, the heart lighter. It is not necessary to upheave everything in a single day. It is enough to begin with small daily moments. Each act of simplification generates positive energy, dissolves anxieties, and leaves space for what truly matters. Ultimately, when you let go of something, you are telling yourself, I do not need to accumulate to feel happy. My energy is already here, in the present. The way we care for our space always speaks of our inner state. A chaotic environment tires, distracts, and oppresses, while an ordered place calms, gives clarity, and supports balance. For Buddhism, putting an object back in its place is much more than cleaning. It is a ritual of awareness, an act of care towards oneself. Everything arranged is a thought that reassembles, a tension that dissolves. Notice the difference between entering a tidy room and a messy one. It changes the breath, the focus, the feeling of lightness. External order does not erase problems, but opens an inner space in which to face them with more clarity. And it is not a matter of perfection. It does not require everything to be spotless, but that you are present and attentive. Even folding a blanket, moving an object, or tidying your desk can become a small daily meditation. With time, this ritual becomes an inner practice. The calm you build outside is reflected inside. The mind gets used to clarity, and life begins to flow more harmoniously. Letting go, finally, is an art that is not about renunciation, but about freedom. Often we believe that to free ourselves from anxiety, we need revolutions or drastic changes. But Buddhist wisdom teaches that true strength is found in daily choices. Each time we remain attached to resentments, toxic thoughts, or situations that exhaust us, we waste vital energy. Imagine the mind as a garden. If you nourish only weeds, these will choke the flowers. Letting go is taking care of your inner garden, removing what impedes the healthy plants from growing. It is not easy, because certain memories, habits, or emotions hold us back by offering an illusory security, even if they cause suffering. Perhaps you have experienced something that disappointed or hurt you, and the mind continues to replay the same scenes with phrases like, I should have done more, or I should not have trusted. But remaining imprisoned in those thoughts means giving power to a past that no longer exists. Letting go means recognizing the pain, accepting it, and allowing it to flow without fighting or judging it. It is an act of compassion toward yourself, admitting that it is normal to feel hurt, but that we are not defined by our wounds. Over time, many worries that once seemed insurmountable will lose strength, and energy will no longer be wasted on recurring thoughts. This will allow you to dedicate yourself to what truly matters. And it is not only about emotions or thoughts, but also about objects, habits, and relationships that no longer nourish you. Every time you free yourself from the superfluous, you create space for new experiences, for creativity, and for presence. Each object, thought, or habit let go becomes a fragment of inner freedom. In this sense, detachment is not coldness or indifference, but responsibility toward yourself. It means not allowing life to be governed by what you cannot change. Every time you practice letting go, you strengthen resilience, calm, and awareness. And it is precisely this awareness, cultivated day by day, that becomes the most powerful medicine against anxiety, a constant reminder that nothing is eternal and that in any moment you have the possibility to choose how to respond to life. We often seek calm by going far away, on vacations or retreats, without realizing that true peace is not an external place, but an inner condition. The Buddhist tradition reminds us that stillness does not arise from the absence of sounds or activity, but from not reacting and not clinging to what happens. Having empty spaces, both around us and in the mind, opens a gateway where we can observe more clearly, breathe more deeply, and choose with greater clarity. If you think about your days, how often do you feel overwhelmed by commitments, messages, noise, obligations? All this external noise is reflected within you. A cluttered environment fuels an agitated mind, while an orderly and airy space allows the mind to breathe. Imagine entering a minimalist room with a few well-placed objects and wide, empty spaces. It's not just aesthetics, it's an invitation to calm and inner openness. In the same way, even in life, silence and pauses are not voids to be filled, but precious opportunities to regenerate and reconnect with ourselves. Just a few minutes sitting and gazing at the sky, listening to the wind, or staying in silence can bring more clarity than any activity. Silence also helps us not to react immediately to every emotion. Instead of being overwhelmed by anxiety, we can observe it as a passing phenomenon, understand it, and let it go. Creativity also arises in empty space. When we're not constantly busy, the mind finds new ideas and solutions. It's no coincidence that the wisdom of great masters flourishes in stillness, not in the noise of constant action. Appreciating silence and emptiness is an act of freedom. It means not depending on external chaos and not remaining enslaved to old mental patterns. Every time we create space, we learn calm and lightness. But understanding its value is not enough. We need to translate it into daily choices. Creating visible spaces of calm in your life means shaping your environment so it becomes inner support. You don't need revolutions, just small conscious gestures. Observe the spaces where you spend most of your time. Do they help you breathe, or do they weigh you down? Even just clearing a corner of unnecessary objects transforms that area into a refuge. A plant, a soft light, or a chair left free become anchor points for the mind. And this doesn't only apply to rooms. Even relationships and conversations can include pauses and moments of silence that allow us to respond with more calm and clarity. Daily routines, if lived with presence, become small meditations. Making coffee, folding clothes, or washing dishes can turn into rituals of calm if done with attention. It's not about duration, but consistency. A few minutes repeated over time have deeper effects than long occasional breaks. In this way, the mind learns to create silence even when the surrounding environment is chaotic. Cultivating empty spaces also means knowing how to say no to what is excessive. Too many stimuli, too many commitments. It's not selfishness, but wisdom, protecting your energy so you can dedicate it to what truly matters. Every tidy corner, every consciously chosen pause becomes a mirror of your inner world. It's not outer perfection that counts, but the ability to sustain your inner peace. Finally, living lightly is the natural consequence of all this. We accumulate too many things, thoughts, obligations, and grudges, but the real weight is invisible. It's in the mind. Letting go doesn't just mean emptying a closet, but learning to distinguish the essential from the superfluous within yourself. Living lightly means not being dragged down by the past or by future fears, but staying in the present. It means reducing toxic ties, choosing relationships and activities that nourish you, and learning to say no without guilt. Even the body responds to this lightness. Less tension, freer breathing, greater vitality. And with a lighter mind, we become more creative, more clear-headed, and less reactive. Even the language we use with ourselves matters. Replacing criticism with kind words dissolves much of the unnecessary weight we carry. Lightness is not an immediate achievement, but a journey made of small daily acts. Every time you choose to let go of what weighs you down, you're training your mind to become freer, more present, and stronger. Over time, this lightness permeates every aspect of life: work, relationships, difficult moments, and those of joy. Living lightly doesn't mean having no responsibilities or emotions, but experiencing them without being crushed by them. It is strength in clarity, freedom in presence, peace that arises from letting go. How can we integrate these practices into everyday life? Many people think that meditation or mindful awareness are practices to do only at dedicated times, but true transformation begins when they become an integral part of everyday life. No need for grand gestures or radical changes. It's enough to insert small acts of presence into common situations. If you're in line at the supermarket or waiting for a bus, instead of getting lost in thought, you can stop and feel your breath. Sense your feet firmly rooted to the ground. Notice the weight of the bag in your hands. Just a few seconds of awareness can interrupt the mind's automatic flow and help you return to center. These brief moments become like oases of stillness in the hectic rhythm of modern life. The same goes for relationships. In conversations with family, colleagues, or friends, you can observe how you react, recognize the emotions that arise, and choose not to be guided by impulse. If a phrase irritates you, you can respond calmly instead of reacting. This not only lowers inner tension, but also improves the quality of relationships because it completely changes how we relate to one another. Mindful presence also makes a difference at work. Faced with deadlines and complex tasks, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The practice suggests breaking the task down into smaller steps and focusing on one at a time, using the breath as an anchor point. Every pause becomes an opportunity to recover energy and clarity. Over time, this approach reduces stress and increases productivity without exhausting the mind. Another important area is anxiety management. When you feel tension rising, Instead of resisting or seeking immediate solutions, you can simply observe the sensation, welcome it, and remind yourself that it is temporary. Conscious breathing and a kind attitude toward yourself become daily tools for facing difficult moments. With practice, what once made you lose control becomes manageable, and the mind returns to stability more quickly. Even the simplest habits become opportunities for awareness. Brushing your teeth, taking a shower, making coffee. If done with attention, they become small exercises in presence. Feeling the water flow, savoring the aroma of coffee, noticing the texture of the toothbrush. These are details that train the mind to stay in the here and now. Buddhist principles such as impermanence, non-judgmental observation, and compassion are not abstract concepts, but tools to be applied in real life. When you face a difficulty or someone provokes you, these principles help you create a space between you and the automatic reaction. In that space, freedom is born, because you can choose how to act instead of being dragged by emotions. Integrating mindfulness also means taking care of the body. You can't be centered if you're exhausted, hungry, or tense. Getting enough sleep, eating well, moving your body, allowing yourself breaks. These are all concrete supports for inner practice. When the body is in balance, the mind also finds clarity and lightness more easily. The key is consistency, combined with kindness toward yourself. You don't need perfection or hours of meditation. Every small moment of presence matters, and over time, creates deep change. Inner peace is not a distant goal, but the ability to live each moment with openness and clarity. You are not your mind, you are the observer of your thoughts, the sky that remains still while the clouds pass by. Even in moments of tension, you can remember that there is always a space of calm within you. With constant practice, you'll discover that your ability to handle anxiety and pressure grows naturally. You can start right now, even with the smallest gesture. A conscious breath, a moment of observation, a gentle pause. Every step, no matter how small, builds your path toward a more serene life. The practice is not perfection, but presence. And this presence is always available, in every moment, if only you choose to call it forth. Breathe, feel, and bring this awareness into your daily life. It will be the thread that transforms chaos into clarity and struggle into quiet strength. Thank you for spending these minutes with me. If the video brought you some relief, I only ask you to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you soon, and remember to take care of yourself.